Hey everyone, welcome again to another update on the Cyolo platform. My name is Samuel Hill, Director of Product Marketing. Today with me to talk about some very interesting things that we're releasing in our 4.2 product release is AMNON, WIESEL, and BENCHAIM, product leaders here at Cyolo. Welcome guys. Okay, so we got some interesting things to talk about today. Danny, we're now having an easier way to export all of the great data that's in our logs for customers to use. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what we've done here?
We have very descriptive and very detailed logs in our systems that are describing all the activities of the end users and the activities of the admins. And we have a great UI for that, and many customers are using this, already using this today. But as for logs, it's really important for mainly for large customer. It's really important to have the ability to integrate with SIEM and XDR systems in order to view the entire logs across all the security platforms in your organizations, to run correlation rules, to do some threat hunting, and even for compliance sake, we want to keep them for 1 year, 2 years. So in order to achieve that, we just developed two different ways to help our customers with that. One of them is an integration with Amazon S3 bucket. And from the S3 bucket, there is a connector for all the SIEMs and XDR platforms around that out there. They already have a direct connector for S3 bucket. And another way is to just put it in syslog and send it, drive it out from Cyolo outside to a syslog server, which can be also SIEM or XDR or any other server that customers would like to use for getting our logs over there.
No, I know that as you're going to pull it up and show us this a little bit in the platform here, but our logs have an incredible richness to the detail for every type of user access and connection and all of the different workflows that go into that. And that data is very usable across a wide variety of security tools. And so we're making it easier now to take that robust data and help your other tools have access to very granular details so they can do their jobs better too. They can threat hunt, they can enforce policy, they can make sure things are happening according to the way that you want to set up your system. So Danny, why don't you walk us through how we set that up?
Are divided into activity, audit, and system logs. And now we added the settings section over there. And in the settings section, you can define either both the retention inside Cyolo, but also you can define the export logs to cloud provider, starting with S3 bucket in 4.2 and syslog server. In order to export it, you need to start with go to integration to cloud provider. And here we have kind of an example of already set. So EC2 is something that we already supported before 4.2. So we just renew this integration cloud providers screens and improve the UI and the UX, and also added the S3 bucket options here. So we can now integrate AWS for either EC2 for application sake, or S3 for the new log export feature, or both of them. You can select the site. As for the credential, we added actually a nice capability here. So connecting via API or role, it depends whether you are integrating to on the same machine or on a separate machine. So in a separate machine, you do need an API. And all what you need to do is to copy the permission code and put it in the AWS admin console. And you are setting the permission. You can, of course, then customize or edit and add additional permissions, but this will provide you a quite straightforward way to connect the two machine, Cyolo and S3 bucket. As for the syslog server, you just need to define the server name, the site, IP address, and port. And once you are set one of them or both of them, you can go to the log settings and just activate whether you would like to send it to a S3 bucket. It's quite straightforward. You are looking for the integration name here. What is the interval that you would like to send the logs? We are actually gathering all the logs in a big file, the gzip file, and send it. So here it's set for every 10 minutes. Let's send the last 10 minutes logs. You should select the AWS bucket region and the specific bucket, and you are all set. Then you can, if you like to customize the Ceph, of course you can select Ceph, normal Ceph, but if you would like to customize the Ceph and select different field, you can click on custom and here change. I don't want to have event name. I would like to rename it or whatever you like. It's quite straightforward. And if you rather to export logs not to S3 bucket but to a syslog server, so you need to activate here and just need to customize the Ceph or use the default Ceph, which as far as I know, most of our customers are using the default Ceph format. And that's it. You're saving it and you are all set, starting to send the logs outside the Cyolo.
And that makes it really easy then. So whatever SIM tool you're using or SOAR or XDR, now you have a very clean way to get the log data out of an S3 bucket or from your own syslog server to ingest into those tools. Danny, thanks for walking that through with us. I'm here with AMNON WIESEL, and he's going to show us a little bit about how we are connecting some native applications to make it a little bit easier for our end users to have an agentless, seamless, very easy way to get into the applications that they're trying to work with. AMNON, thank you for taking some time to walk through this with us.
You're welcome. Thank you for the intro. So as you really said, that the main value of the new type of application we implemented here is to really securely connect native applications to their servers without any need for VPN or even the Cyolo Connect. So the use case is that it allows users to use native applications remotely, exactly as if they were sitting in the local network in the office. Okay,
let me ask you this question really quick. I'm not on that. Obviously, people have been using native applications and connecting. What have they had to do previously in order to make that work?
So again, you need a VPN to connect to the VPN and then open the application, because only then you have the connectivity to the server. Okay,
and that's problematic. We don't want VPNs anymore. Let's get rid of them.
And you need to install, the VPN client and et cetera, et cetera. We don't need this. So with what we did here, we had a very simple user experience for the end user, and I will show you in a minute how you do it. We created a new type of application. You can see here, this is the application portal. You see here the SSH tunnel application. That's the name given by the admin. And the end user just click on the application, okay, has to copy this string to the clipboard, run it in the terminal, okay? And actually what we do here is we open the tunnel to the server and then click the next and do it again. Copy the application command and run this application on the server, and that's it. Okay, and now the application is running and connected to the server. That's the experience, very simple.
And they can use whatever terminal they're planning to use, right? Whether, we don't care.
This is up to you.
Wow, it makes it a lot easier. So no longer having to set up a risky VPN and run clients on their devices. Now it's a couple of clicks and they're able to access this application very easily.
That's right. The admin defines the application, configure it in the admin console, and that's the experience of the end users. Very easy to use, very nice.
I love it. And this makes it a lot easier too. I would imagine this is useful for a maybe an external third party who you can't install agents or devices on their machine anyways, but you still want to grant them some small access to a specific thing. Now we're able to open up even more applications for those people under specific control, right?
It's good for suppliers, people that are not from your company, and you want them to access specific servers with some kind of native apps that you developed or you purchased.
Awesome. AMNON, thank you very much for walking that through with us. I look forward to seeing this in the 4.2. All right, next we're going to talk about a really easy way for admins to make life a lot easier for them. So not having to do a lot of manual work, repetitive work. We're going to eliminate some of the repetitive bulk work that makes life a lot harder, specifically for file transfers and file storage sites. So AMNON, tell us a little bit about what we've done here in 4.2.
Yes, thank you, Samuel. So what we have done, or let's say before we have done this, so typically you have in your company several servers that sharing files with your employees or suppliers or never mind. So what you have to do as an admin, you have to define for each and every server and for each and every folder, you have to define a separate application, okay? And only then the end user can access the folder through the shared folder through our system. What we have done now is that we allow the admin to use a wildcard in the setting, in the configuration of the application. So it means that if you have dozens of servers with or different IPs, okay, or even with different folder names that they are sharing, they can just create a single application on the admin console and let the end user select to which servers they want to connect. So it really makes the life of the administrator much, much easier. I can show you how it looks from the end user perspective. Okay, so the end user will get the same application as they used to get. It's a SMB application, okay? But once they click it, so now the end user can complete to which address he wants to access and which folder. Okay, so from the end user perspective, the experience is more or less the same. But for the admin, live are much easier now.
This is great because, I mean, a lot of our admins are wanting to really lock down access to these shared folders and making sure that we have some granular controls over who is allowed to what. And I would imagine having to create multiple instances of these folders to get that segmentation of them is very, very repetitive work. And so we've now eliminated that in 4.2 and placed a little bit of the emphasis on users selecting which folder they want to connect to and work with, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. So it's not only, the creation of the application, then you have to maintain a list of, I don't know how many you have in the organization, but you have to maintain those applications. And now you have a single application that you have to maintain.
AMNON, that's fantastic. Thanks for walking that through with us. So Danny and AMNON, I think generally in the 4.2 release, we're seeing a lot of things that are both improving our end users experience and the administrators experience. Can you guys talk to us a little bit how you're thinking about as we develop our product and making life a lot easier for the people that use it?
Yeah, so we have to, we are looking on two hats we have here. One is the hat of the admin that sits and configure everything in the application, creates the application, the policy, has to track the login, has to track that everything works. So this is one position that we are looking here to simplify the admin life, but also to enrich the capabilities. So this is part of the admin. On the user perspective, we are really trying to keep it simple as we can, to keep it available so you can see what you can access, you can easily access and select what you want to do. Okay, and if it's a technical issue that we are trying to hide this from the end user.
Yeah, and so Danny, a little bit about that, the best security tools are the ones that are very easy for end users because, if it's hard for them to use it or comply with it, they're just going to work around it. They got work to do. So it's great to see. How are you guys thinking about, end user experience from a security perspective?
Well, as you mentioned, Samuel, end user need to have as simple life as possible. They need just to put their credentials, doing the MFA, and start working as soon as possible. If it's not clear enough, they either will look how to violate or they will open tickets to the admin, and the admin will be also unhappy, not just the end user. So yes, security starting with UX is definitely a good UX. Always improve the security as well. No doubt about that.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you guys. Congratulations on 4.2. I know you guys have put just an incredible amount of work into getting this thing ready for our end users. And there's a lot more than what we talked about today. 4.2 has got a veritable long list of really cool advancements and improvements in the Cyolo platform. But again, that overarching theme is let's make life easy for our administrators and let's make life really easy for our end users. So Danny, AMNON, thank you both for taking some time to share a little bit about 4.2.